Welcome back to X Figure Reviews. In front of me is the SH Figuarts Son Goku figure. I was really excited for this Kid Goku. I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball as well as Dragon Ball Z. And when they announced they were going to start giving us those Dragon Ball characters like Bulma and Master Roshi, and now we got Krillin coming out soon. Like, that's fantastic. I love that Figuarts is doing this. I just recently showed my girlfriend Dragon Ball, and she said she hadn't seen Dragon Ball Z. I said, well, we're going to start from the beginning. So really cool. It was a good way to pump me up for this figure. He comes with a ton of accessories, and I really mean that. He has the fist hands that you see on his body. He also has these fighting stance hands that we always see with Goku, right? Then he has these blast effect hands. I usually call them blast effects. This one, it's weird because I don't really remember Goku ever blasting things, you know? So you can just say a smacking hand or something. Then we have his V for victory hands. I never knew that stood for victory for the longest time. As a kid growing up, I had no idea V was for victory. I just saw Mario and all of them do it. Then he has these hands here, which is like a karate chop hand. Looks really nice. But that's not all. He has more hands. He has some grabbing hands. These are like for Kamehameha. Or alternatively, he comes with a Dragon Ball, which I love that they included this. This is just translucent orange plastic. The red stars are just painted on. Part of me worries about them kind of getting scratched off, but I love that it's the 4-star ball. It's appropriate. But you can see in his grabbing hand, it doesn't really hold. So it's a little disappointing. The Goku can't hold the Dragon Ball. You can place it in his hand, though, right? So wish that he could hold on to it. These other hands here, these are just fist hands with a hole in the middle, and that's for his power pole, of course. And as you can imagine, this is not going anywhere. I could shake this all around, that hand's not falling off. So really good job there. And of course, if he has his power pole, he's going to have a place to store it when not in use. So here you can see it looks really nice, okay? His holster for the power pole is really nice. The detail on the rope. This power pole inside of it, that's just pegged in. You can see that. So always remember to unpeg it, get rid of it when you have him playing with you, the power pole, and putting it back when he's not using it. Really good detail. I like the rope on it. It looks nice. To get it on his body, you need to pop off his head and then just put it over his neck. So, not a big deal to do that. Now, he also comes with faces. He's got this happy face on his body now. I really like it. And then he has a similar face, but this one shows some teeth and has his eyes shut. And I really love how cheery these faces look. Then he also comes with a game face, if you will. And it still has a goofy look to it, He doesn't really come with an angry face, and it's appropriate. Goku is a very happy-go-lucky kid, for sure. And it is, I will say it's a little disappointing. He doesn't come with, at least one stern face, So there's not a whole lot of variety, but there's definitely enough, and I definitely love the faces he came with and how expressive they are, and very accurate, too. As far as tails, he has 2 tails. He has the one on his body there that's very straight, and then he has one that's more wavy. And you can see it just pegs into his butt. Okay, so nothing too fancy there. So it's at a ball joint too, so it can rotate and do all that. That being said, the tail does like to fall off on me. So like if I wiggle him and stuff, it doesn't fall off randomly, but it falls off enough to annoy me. It's worth mentioning. Now we have his Nimbus Cloud. That's right, there's so many accessories, and even a display base. That's what this is, So he comes with the Nimbus Cloud. You can see I can rotate the back end of it, so that's nice. Definitely wasn't necessary, but definitely, not complaining. It's pretty cool. And then this is just on the standard Tamashii Nations base, right? Or, stand. So it just pegs in to the bottom of the Nimbus Cloud. And I will say, too, this Nimbus Cloud has some weight to it, and that's why it takes 2 pegs to hold it up. All right, I don't really imagine a way you can get it to stand with just one. And then he also has a peg at the top of the cloud that you can use for another arm that it comes with. That's a little smaller, so you can put Goku on it and he'll stand without any problem at all. That being said, I can get Goku on this Nimbus Cloud without that other stand holding him up. So I think that's really cool that they included it for more dynamic posing, but it's not even necessary. So it is really cool that they included that. It's going to help prevent a lot of shelf dives. Now, as far as the figure himself, finally get into him. Fantastic. I really enjoy this figure. The not a lot of paint slop, not any at all really, because he's got his turtle hermit symbol on his clothing, and yeah, just really solid paint, really solid crisp lines. So happy to see it. The belt is a loose piece, but it's really tight, so you don't have to worry about like that rotating or anything. So that is really nice. Everything else is pretty much sculpted on. We have his head for articulation. Can't really go back at all. Going forward or looking down, you can see it can happen. My head just split when I did that, like his face popped off. So it can't go down too much, I guess, without that happening. He can rotate though, no problem. He does have that neck joint as well. I noticed it's not as good as other neck joints in the Figuarts line. He does have, the ball joint at the arm, so you can rotate it all the way around. And I almost forgot. He does have this butterfly joint, and it's really interesting. It doesn't go back at all, but it does move forward, and it helps him get into some cool poses. He does have a bicep swivel. He has a single jointed elbow. You can get 90 degrees out of it. He does have a ball jointed wrist, so really good wrist articulation there. As far as his chest goes, he can go back about, it's a little weird. Like his chest rotates a little bit, but not a whole lot. His chest is going to go down this much and can go back that much. So you can get a decent amount. But the rotation comes from the waist and only the waist. Okay. The waist also, it's a ball joint. So it does go forward and back as well to help him get that motion, but mostly it's there for rotation. The belt there has the knot that will rotate all the way around, like the Goku Saiyan raised on Earth. His leg will kick up that much, which is really crazy. Do a face kick. He's got legs that will go back that much. Once again, really crazy. Get this guy doing a perfect split. And then, out to the side, crazy flexibility once again. His leg does rotate up there at the thigh. It is the same exact build that we see for the SH Figuarts legs that we've been getting, just mini. He does have the single jointed knee, get 90 degrees from it, no more, no less. We have the toe articulation and the foot articulation as well. So the foot, really nice articulation there. Nothing's going to get in the way of it. So, it can rock back and forth, go up and down. Like I said, he's got that toe articulation as well. So really cool. I really enjoy having this figure. And of course, his tail, as I mentioned, it's on a ball joint. So I wish that it was on his body a little more securely. Maybe if the peg went in a little bit deeper. But, it gets the job done for sure. Gets the job done. So let's get into some size comparison, maybe? Yeah. And here he is next to himself. You can see how big his head is. And you can see how small he is as well. He's super tiny. Here he is next to Roshi, which I'm sure you'll probably put these guys side by side. So you can see Goku stands right where he needs to. He's a small fry. Okay, and it's really cool. He's a really happy small fry. Every time I look at this figure, fantastic. It just makes me so happy. I'll throw up a reference photo in case you've never seen Dragon Ball. You're curious to know how accurate it is. It's spot on. There's absolutely no gripes from me. It's really great, like down to the expressions on the face. It's just fantastic sculpt work. I love this Goku figure. He's fantastic. I have no complaints really, aside from the loose tail, the Nimbus cloud, the weight of it. Sometimes I feel like it's a bit too much for the Tamashii stand. It's so good. The overall score of this guy, he's a 96, so that's one of the highest scores that I've given out. Just the amount of accessories he comes with, the amount of, it's just one of those, it's just, I don't know, it's a beautiful thing when you get a hold of a collectible, and it reminds you that it's a toy. and it reminds you in all the good ways, not in like those cheap ways. And I think that's what this Goku figure does. It's just nothing but fun. So I can't recommend this figure enough. Like, it's really solid. So that's the review. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, like, and thanks for watching.